Our next speaker is the Managing Director of the Eastern European and the Middle East and the MEA region. The talk is about the magic formula of mobile marketing, and the speaker is Dirk Henke. Thank you.
All right. Salam alaikum. Hello. My name is Dirk. First of all, for the ones who listened to the panel before, I thought that was extremely interesting and exciting. But I wanted to give also some positive spirit into this room again. I heard a lot about challenges, problems, etc., and managing those very challenging different countries. My own, I go to many places and I hear a lot about challenges. But one thing when I come here, I must say, it's a really fascinating region with a lot of spirit and a lot of things happening. And I'm really glad to see, companies being extremely successful like Zook, and not hearing only about Amazon. In the travel world, of course, companies like Emirates, Qatar, Etihad are kicking ass, at least when you look at the European and the US airlines. So this, for me, is extremely exciting. And one of the things I heard before as well was a lot about, but people are used to this, right? So one thing, of course, people are changing, and second, there's new generations coming in. And the topic that I'm going to talk about today is exactly about one of those where you see a very, very quick change happening, much quicker than a lot of us even would have anticipated just only a little while ago. And I wanted to share with you, since we are not even a mobile advertising company on our own, we are very new ourselves to the mobile advertising topic. But we have changed, adapted on our own. And I'm going to share a bit of our recent learnings and the magic, why for us mobile advertising is working actually very well already, and how we can help our clients as well. So one thing up front, this is, I don't know, 20 years ago or something, that's how, surfing the internet looked like at that time. One device, mainly one browser, a big-ass thing at home or at work, and that was it. Today, it looks very different, of course, as all of us know. A lot of different devices, very mobile. Even the desktop computers have gotten smaller. You have the notebooks, the laptops, the phones, smartphones, tablets, etc. And what happens with that is, of course, that the usage of online and internet is changing as well. So on the one hand, you can see, and these are numbers from the US, that from 2010 to 2013, even the desktop usage in terms of total time spent online still grew. But mobile, smartphone and tablet came on top. So the total time that people spent online literally grew massively. And I think that's a very easy thing to understand at that point when you have small devices with you that you can quickly use for going online. But what does that mean? It means you're dealing, in particular also as an advertiser and working within the advertising industry, with people that are using various devices now, different browsers, etc. And at the end of the day, it's getting quite complex, and complexity is our daily life now. And it's not only one single device standing on your desk at home. So far, we might have said, okay, that's great. Time spent online through mobile devices is increasing. Many different devices, quite complex, quite difficult. But luckily, not that many are actually buying through mobile devices. So me as an advertiser, I don't have to worry about that much. But at the end, what we can see, and I'm sharing numbers from the UK, this is e-commerce growth in the UK, which is still at, let's say, in between 15 and 18%. But when we actually take out the mobile commerce, so everything that is happening through the mobile devices, the desktop and the classic e-commerce is actually quite flat. So there you can see that people do buy actually through the mobile devices, and You know, I think Ronaldo mentioned something about this last year as well, about their business through mobile devices, which is very, very exciting to hear. However, mobile marketing, so to reach, so now there's a lot of people using mobile devices to go online, to actually buy as well, but certainly you are facing a lot of first-time challenges that maybe in the internet world we have faced decades ago. And I've picked out 3 big challenges that we came across ourselves during the past 12, 18 months. Number 1, you really have to deal with 2 completely different worlds. When we talk about mobile, it's mixed up very often, but on the one hand, we have mobile browsing, so the classic browser, on various devices, and we have in-app, which on its own, it's a completely different technology environment with completely different needs and also challenges when it comes to advertising in particular. Second, so far, there is, of course, mobile advertising, but very focused to a niche, I would say, niche client group, mainly gaming, etc. And mobile advertising has been mainly spray and pray. So literally, we get it out there, and hopefully people will download, and as many people as possible will maybe download an app. And then we were just hoping that they're going to use it. But actually, we saw, of course, a lot of mobile app downloads, but retention rates are extremely low. So only a very few users, after they downloaded the app, actually came back and used it. And then at the end of the day, the conversions, the actions on those apps were very low as well. 3, and this is really a big challenge for the advertising world when it comes to mobile, is the lack of standards. So as it's something that really came up very quickly, something that's pretty new, with, again, new and different technology and backgrounds, we have to work on the standards. So far, there weren't really any personalized ads in the mobile world. No flash possible, and of course, no real equivalent of URLs that also enabled deep linking, which of course is very important, especially also for us when we work with our e-commerce clients, showing an ad, and we want to bring the user back to the very specific product site so that they can actually immediately buy. However, and this is, again, having shared a few of the challenges, the good news, solutions are there, and companies are already adapting to it and working on making those challenges actually solved, and that there is no challenge any longer. Number 1, what we definitely see, not only the time spent online, but also the ad spend is shifting massively. So in between 2010 and 2011, we saw a huge increase, here in this case, US, UK, and Germany a bit later, but now it's already in between 12 and 18% of the ad spend. And I think when we look back at the growth curve of online ad spend versus offline media years back, it took much, much longer. And on the right-hand side, actually a much more interesting number, that's our real number, just from September last year, where we really only started with our mobile engagement, until May, we were able to increase our total business and the share from mobile from 2.5 to 15%. So today, and actually that was in May, it's probably even a bigger number already. Our total business that used to be 0 in mobile is already 15%. So what is the magic formula, or also what at Criteo we had to work on to make this happen? I was talking about standards. So we have been working on deep linking solutions. Again, this was a massive challenge for us. HTML5 ads that could replace the challenge that not having Flash. And of course, privacy-positive IDs. And this is a big challenge in general and a very important topic that you want to identify the users, but of course you want to make sure that privacy is taken care of as well. A mobile solution across all browsers is extremely important. So I think this is the big challenge as well with different screens, browsers, that you really have a very consistent user experience, that they see the ads the same way in one browser than in the other. And that really is challenging once you start working with dynamic ads, where our business and our support for our clients is really based on, and what used to be something very new in the desktop world, and of course transforming that to mobile is something very important. So generally and luckily, ads are improving. I think this was really a big pain point when we look back what the ads in mobile looked like. I mean, of course, that is supported by the devices, innovation that happened there, bigger screens, the resolutions of the screens, etc. And what it looks today now, I wanted to share, actually it's not. Okay, the animation doesn't seem to work, that's a bit sad. But in the end, what we are able to do today and what is happening versus this, really old, ugly ad here is literally that we were able to transform exactly the same type of ads from the desktop world into the mobile world. And this is supposed to be an example for in-app retargeting that is something extremely challenging in terms of making it from a technology point happen, something that we've recently launched. And interestingly enough, we have launched that solution with the first clients, not in the US, not in the UK. We have launched it in Russia and Brazil with the first clients to do in-app retargeting, actually with some of the Rocket Internet e-commerce players. And in this case, it was an example with Dafiti in Brazil, where a user goes into the fashion e-commerce shop in an app, looks at products, they leave the app, go onto a weather app, and while they're there, we can re-identify them and actually show them an ad that is dynamic, that is personalized for this specific user, and that they actually click on that ad as well, are redirected to the shop ad, to the e-commerce site, and directly also to that specific product. So the deep linking in that case is also working and happening. Oh, there we have it. It was a bit later. So the shop site before, user goes onto the weather site and then actually is directed and deep linked to the product site to look, buy, and check out. And this is to be honest something pretty new, but it's working and it's part of our daily business already. And just to show you also a bit about because we were talking, a lot about, changing technologies, environments, and before also it was a lot about payments, etc. What is very important to understand that the life cycles and the changing cycles are getting much shorter, and changes are happening much, much faster all of the time. So we started our business with the specific desktop-based retargeting in 2008. It took until 2013 that we had the first real touch point with the mobile world when we acquired AdX Tracking. That was the first step for us, underlying basic to do proper tracking with the mobile campaigns and in-app campaigns. The same year, we launched the mobile web solution, and just recently, beginning of this year, shortly after, we launched the in-app solution. And also shortly after, we launched the full mobile web solution that includes iOS targeting as well. So what I wanted to say with this is that there was a big gap in between 2008 and 2013, and then within almost 12 months, there was a massive development from, and when I was here a year ago, I mentioned mobile marketing as an important thing already. And now, since then, it's not only something that might work a bit and that we still believe into the future, but it's something that is part of our business and something that's already very, very important for many of our clients, because that's where they really reach their users and have to engage with them. However, as positive as I see this whole topic, there's still one huge, huge challenge ahead of us, and that's cross-device tracking. And to be honest, so far, I would love to meet the company that has a full running solution with that. We are massively working on it, but of course, you know, with all the users having multiple devices, using them, the key is to really keep identifying the user throughout those different devices. So as a conclusion, I truly believe, and I'm extremely positive about this, that, you know, people are not only used to something, they will change, and they are changing massively their behavior, their habits as well. Driven and supported, of course, through innovation when it comes to devices. The marketing aspect, however, and the marketing industry has to change and to adapt quickly. And they have to make sure that they're adapting as quickly as the users are. So we have to move away from the acquisition-only marketing campaigns to real customer engagement and to the customer acquisition as well. The mobile marketing, in general, has to look at solutions that are really efficient, and we have to look at, you know, tracking and at targeting solutions. And I think everyone knows this. Customers are getting more and more cautious about, you know, performance of their campaigns. For that, you really need to be able to track the numbers. And this has been a real challenge in the mobile world so far. And again, what I've mentioned a couple of times before, we really need the standards that we need to work on, and we have actually started an initiative to work on a standard for deep linking in the mobile and mobile app space. So we hope that this will become at some point a standard that everyone globally can use and will use, so that it will really become efficient and scalable for the advertisers as well. This was what I wanted to share with you. I don't know if we have any questions as well, of course. Otherwise, afterwards, feel free to come to me and talk to me as well. Thank you very much. Shukran.